Hey, Aries, Mel, Intuitive Coach here. Excited to bring in your February 2025 monthly reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Aries, welcome. You have teamwork, conflict, and second chance showing up as your key themes. Bottom of the deck, you have clarity. This is good, and mending right below that. So this tells me that if you have been dealing with a group, a family dynamic, team projects, or people who you thought were supposed to come together in some way. Perhaps that was the mission, that was the goal, bringing something together, but there was a conflict, there was some sort of troubleshooting that needed to take place here. I feel like February is the month where second chances are available. Yeah, because it feels like there's some uncertainty here about how to overcome these obstacles, possibly some form of adversity. I'm also getting groupthink with the teamwork. So perhaps this is a collective pool of fear in a sense, all right, that you are dealing with, that you are seeing playing out or unfolding, but I keep getting troubleshoot. So it feels like you are finding solutions this month. You're going to see solutions being found, and there is a sense of clarity coming in. Six of Swords. Yep, you are moving on to calmer waters. Now, with the conflict card, it does talk about competition, and so there may be some sort of competition. As I say that, we have the Five of Swords showing up here as well, which can be a very competitive, cutthroat environment. But I feel like you are kind of going off on your own in a sense, meaning not my monkeys, not my circus. You're not participating in drama. Yeah, you're getting out of the Eight of Swords, the fear-based energy of telling the same story or contributing to that collective pool. I'm going to call it a cesspool of fear. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Swords. So this is interesting here. You know, you're showing up as the Six of Swords, moving on towards perhaps the Nine of Cups. That's what we have out here. And the Nine of Cups is saying, okay, how do I truly feel about a situation? I feel like you may feel at this time a little bit restless because the moon is here. You may feel a little bit uncertain, but there's a new opportunity, or at least a second chance to rebuild something that may have caused a couple of ripples with the conflict. Yeah, Two of Swords. You may make a choice here to move your time, your energy, your investments elsewhere in order to avoid or not partake in, again, a cesspool of drama, if you will. Now, if this is a specific individual that you've been dealing with, it feels like it ripples out. That's why the teamwork card is showing up, because perhaps this affects many different people. There could be some sort of drama with maybe an ex. I'm getting children here as well, so perhaps it has to do with children. Some of you may be in, a legal situation, or you're dealing with someone who may be using you or charming you, or they have in the past. Girl with a snake, and we are in the year of the wood snake here, and I just feel like you're not having it. You're not participating in it. And if you were confused intuitively, if you're like, wait, what is really going on behind the scenes? You have the empty room as your archetype. I just feel like there is a sense of clarity after confusion here. So let's dive in. Again, your key themes, Aries, you have teamwork and conflict showing up. So teamwork can be the people that you are meant to thrive with, grow with, build with. There has been some sort of ripple. There's been some sort of kink in the flow, and it feels like This could be one person that is impacting, many. It could be a group of people who are feeding into that cesspool of greed, of drama, of jealousy. And it just feels like there's a tug of war. And it does feel like other people are involved in some way. I mean, even on the Five of Swords, you can see that there are three witches standing around the cauldron. And there's just too many cooks in the kitchen that think it should be their way, right? And it can leave others feeling very left out. It can have others feeling used or taken advantage of or not heard, not understood, not acknowledged. And it's just not a fun energy to partake in. Now, excuse me, the solution here seems simple, even though it's not. It's not always as simple as it seems, because not everyone is vibrating at the same frequency, at the same level. But I do feel like there is a bit of a new viewpoint coming in here, maybe even a helping hand. Some of you are working with higher vibrational beings. You may be calling in the big dogs for something here, connecting to your archangels, Archangel Michael, Raphael, maybe working with ascended masters or higher vibrational star seeds as well. I have been seeing this quite often, Aries. Right now, there are light beings that are coming in to assist the humans who are calling upon them, more so now than ever before in history, is what I have been told. So if you are seeing or a part of some sort of conflict or drama, I feel like there's help and assistance and guidance coming in. And therefore, you have the second chance card. Second chance is a do-over. It is a review, a better offer. Now, I do feel if this is a work setting, which we'll take a look at work, career, love, health, all of it we'll dive into today. But if this is a work situation, some of you may have had a review, or perhaps you had some sort of meeting with the people that you work with, a boss or a supervisor, and it may not have went the way that you had hoped it would go. You may have hoped for a better outcome, a better offer, or there's some sort of negotiation taking place. Now, if you are a business owner, I feel like it's been difficult trying to get everyone on board in some way. Perhaps you have been testing out a new system. Perhaps there's been someone that has been causing a ripple effect in the company or in, the work of others. Maybe HR has been involved in some way, or perhaps you may be struggling to move forward in your creativity or in your work. But I feel like this is the month. Specifically, Pisces season feels significant, which is towards the end of February, but that feels like things are clearing up for you. And I keep saying feel, right? Pisces is all about the feeling, the emotion. And because you have the Nine of Cups here, I sense that you're dropping into, of course, your logical mind, because you are very logical. You're very brilliant. You have the Six of Swords here, meaning that if something is causing imbalance, which it is, Five of Swords rolling out into the Six of Swords, you don't want to partake in it, but you want to partake finding solutions. You are solution oriented, and you could be coming up with, the answer to something here. And if you are not the one that is making external choices or decisions, I just feel like you are not investing in, putting so much of your attention or focus into this matter. All right, second chance is also about rebuilding. Some of you may have gone through some financial struggles here. If this is a relationship, I feel like it has rippled out into a family dynamic where perhaps if you were divorced, you may have not just divorced a spouse, but there may have been wrinkles, we'll call them, again, in the family line, where perhaps connecting with, a parent or a child has been a little difficult, or there's been a little bit of a battle, a little bit of a tug of war. And I see here there is going to be somewhat of a better offer or a renewed contract. Okay, that's interesting. A renewed contract of some sort. There may be a contract that is null and void, meaning an old contract may be ripped up in a sense, maybe energetically. It's like it's ripped up, it's no longer valid, no longer good, and there may be a new contract coming in. Now, this could be a soul contract with an individual. You may want to rip up that contract and say, no more. I don't want to deal with that person, that company, whatever that contract was for you, and there could be a brand new one coming in. Now, for others of you, I am getting renewed. So there could be some new negotiations or new improvements here, excuse me, or logistics that are applied to a pre-existing contract, okay, in the energetic sense, in the literal sense, physically as well. So I feel like there is something changing around a contract. All right, bottom of the deck, you have clarity. There will be truth. There is light coming in here. This is about solutions. Now, this is the second card out of 4 of your key themes, with clarity being the underlining energy. You have solutions showing up in both of these themes. So even though there is a bit of conflict right now, and you may feel like there's a difficult energy finding a solution, it is coming in here because you have mending right behind it, coming together. And look at that. You actually have 2 of those words. You have solutions on the conflict and the clarity, and you have coming together on the teamwork and the mending. This is a beautiful synchronicity. So there will be something that does come together after a bit of a rift, after a bit of unknown energies here, because your first card out is the moon. Now, as much as I love the moon energy, because we need the sun, we need the moon can bring about secrets. It can be illusionary as well when we are falling more into that fear-based energy versus intuitive. And I feel like there's some sort of truth exposed that may help you see through things that were hidden from view, okay, or see through the shadows here, because I am getting the shadow as well. Some of you may have tapped into a bit of shadow work. You may have seen the shadow come out in someone else or a group of people, and it feels like you're seeing the bigger picture. And some of you, look at that. I mean, the cat is veering into its reflection, and the reflection is that of, a black jaguar here. And it looks like a regular house cat that's peering in. So there may be a situation that feels bigger than it actually is, or because fears take over, we let the mind take over to worst case scenario here, meaning we can catastrophize situations. We've all done it, right? We've all thought something was bigger than it is, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here on the moon. But soon enough, you're going to see that there will be a negotiation. There will be some sort of truth coming out. Now, because we have the King of Cups in reverse, King of Cups in reverse can sometimes feel dramatic. This can be a drama king, someone who's not in touch with their emotions. This can be someone who's a bit cold. It can be the energy of untrustworthiness or even overly indulgent because we are trying to numb, we're trying to escape. And this individual can become indulgent in, food, in money, maybe substances here. And I feel like this individual sometimes may go to extremes in order to mask an underlying energy, possibly that shadow that I was picking up on. Now, you also see here on the King of Swords, he is on an island. And sometimes he puts himself on that island, keeping everybody at a distance, at, arm's length, maybe emotionally, because he is fearful of others he doesn't trust. So whether this be parts of yourself, Aries, whether this be someone you are dealing with, I feel like you're able to see through it. And some of you are either moving on because the drama is just too big, too much, or you could be seeing through. I'm also getting a message that someone's bark is a lot louder than the bite, and that makes sense as well with that moon card. Yeah, someone's bark is a lot louder than their bite. Let's see here. Yeah, it just feels like there's unnecessary drama in a sense, and you're like, adios, I don't want to deal with that, not my monkeys, not my circus, I'm moving on. But you can see on the Six of Swords that she's still looking over her shoulder because she doesn't want that energy to linger with her. And how interesting that we have the big old moon right here. So you have the moon coming in, so the full moon in February is going to be a big one. Now, full moons can bring about, endings as well. It can be really letting go and seeing things, trusting your intuition. It can be heightened intuitive abilities and a dream. So pay attention to your dream state as well, because you could find a solution to a problem or a challenge through your dreams. And if you didn't check out the collective reading that I put out later last night, it was for all healers, teachers, light workers, spiritual seekers. There was a very important message at the end of that reading regarding dreams and protective barrier around the information that's coming through in your dreams as well. So check that reading out. I will link that playlist at the end of the video. So this is something you are working on, the King of Cups. And then you have, of course, the Five of Swords. That's why you're looking over your shoulder. You're like, wait a second. Is this really healed, or is this really coming together, or is this just a facade? Again, there seems to be some illusions, and you're not quite sure what to believe, who to listen to, who to trust. You're like, I might just keep everyone at arm's length. Maybe this is you, that may not want to participate in the drama. So you could be on the island here, keeping everybody at a distance, and you're like, okay, I will trust it when I see it. I will believe it when I see it here. And that's okay. That's okay. But I feel like it's so important for you to make sure that you are in a strong standing place for you to lean in and trust your own intuition, your own beliefs. Be sure to tap into your spiritual tools this month, Aries. Whether this be meditation, journaling, Reiki, pulling oracle or tarot cards for yourself, and just being in the moment, being present within your energy and not falling into that maybe fear-based trap or comparison trap or even judgment trap, because I have a feeling there's going to be some things that are stirred up here in February and March, either, on a collective level that trickles down in some sense, or it could of course be in your personal life. But because we have the Nine of Cups, you see that she's sitting there on the sand, and this is beautiful because she's right there where she's able to touch the water, but yet she's staying grounded. So you are in control here. You are finding your peace. She's staying centered. Her eyes are closed. She has that sandcastle with the 9 cups behind her. This tells me that you are feeling content or satisfied with the energy that you are putting out there, right? Whatever you are putting your energy towards, you're feeling good with your work, okay? Or you're feeling good with how you are responding. Yeah, that's what it is. Responding to a situation. You're not feeding into the matrix, or you're not feeding into that drama around you. At least it looks to me like you are, again, tapping into those spiritual tools and really taking a look at reflection. Wherever it feels dissatisfying or it feels like there's restlessness, you're tapping in and you're saying, what's truly going on here within oneself, and what can I discover or learn or understand? But you're not going to others per se for validation or for answers. She's closing her eyes and she's going within. And sometimes this can be a singular energy. It is a 9. We are in a 9 year, which is about solitude, service, accomplishments, and completion. So you may be getting in touch with your higher self this month more so. And I feel like there is a level of accomplishment because you're not reacting in maybe the way that you're seeing other people react to things. This is good. And your self-confidence is returning. Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is not a fun energy when it's in the upright because it's feeling trapped, it's feeling restricted. We are, stuck in a story. This could be a collective story, or it could be a story in your head that you're telling yourself over and over and over again that's causing anxiety and fears and sleepless nights, health issues, everything with that Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck, but it's in reverse, meaning you are questioning here. You're questioning more of the spiritual part of things. Maybe that is also why Pisces season is so strong. You're questioning, what else could this mean? That's what I'm getting. What else could this mean? Instead of staying in the trap, instead of staying in that, that pit, whatever that is for you, that shadow or maybe drama or conflict. What else does this mean, and how else can I respond? Where can I put my energy that is going to help me evolve, help me ascend, and help me stay on track, basically? So you're doing it here, but at first there may be a little bit of a tug of war, right? That's why you have the conflict card, maybe a little tug of war, maybe a little uncertainty. So I do feel like you will find the answers, and I'm getting within. You will find the answers within. Now let's look at health. Some of you, there is perhaps restlessness. Some of you may even have like restless leg syndrome. There may be underlying sleep conditions, okay? Something with sleep, maybe sleep apnea or just waking up at certain hours, maybe restlessness. Yeah, I think I said that, but it just feels like there's a restless energy. Maybe mentally, it could be because there's a lot of anxiety, and that's where you are saying, okay, as I go to sleep, I am going to wind down by not feeding into social media, maybe not watching social media or watching something before you go to bed that may infiltrate your mind in some way. I feel like you are listening to things that are more uplifting, listening to things that help you tune into yourself, maybe listening to Solfeggio frequencies, or one of my personal favorites, Jason Stevenson on YouTube. He has a wonderful channel full of guided meditations. His voice is so, so soothing. You may have your favorites as well that you're tapping into more so. And some of you may even be just disconnecting from, whether it be social media or whether it be from, the drama of a situation. And I feel like you're finding your peace within that. So good for you. Keep doing that. Some of you may even be traveling. You may be visiting, some of you, an island with the King of Cups. You may be visiting an island. It looks like water. Some of you may be rejuvenating with water, maybe swimming or taking hot showers or baths. It feels like water, staying hydrated is going to be beneficial for you. Now, Eight of Swords can be sometimes even a bit of depression. Depression. So of course, if you are dropping into the monkey mind a little bit more, where you're having a difficult time offloading, try some alternative forms of maybe talk therapy or journaling, or getting those things off of your chest or off your mind, a mind dump, if you will. And also, focusing on, is this a fear, false evidence appearing real, or is this fact? Okay, fact or fear. And not allowing yourself to stay in one mindset, because that can cause us to spiral. Can we open up, expand our mind? That's what Aquarian energy is all about, and we'll be in that Aquarian energy for the majority of February. So otherwise, health, some of you, this may have to do with a menstrual cycle, the moon cycle. The moon is Cancerian energy here. The moon is, or excuse me, Pisces. It's Pisces energy, but it is water. So it does have to do with the cycles of the moon or maybe a reproductive system here. Even if you have had, say, a hysterectomy or there has been some issues down in your sacral chakra, endometriosis, maybe fibroids, cystic, PCOS, is that what it's called? PCOS. There's something here with paying attention to your cycles. Some of you may be getting sweats as well, getting like sweating, profuse of sweating, maybe hormonal imbalance or change for both of you, female or males out there. So those are all things to, of course, be on the lookout for and tap into, but do pay attention to your body. Your body is alerting you to what's going on within you and around you. So body is our friends. All right, let's take a look at career, finances, wealth, and money. Now you have the investment card. It feels like some of you have been investing your time and your energy and your money and yourself into something that feels like it's conflicting at this time, and you're wondering, should I continue investing in this or do I pull out and go elsewhere? Do I cut my losses and go elsewhere? So that's where the conflict arises here. It does say that finances are looking good or growing, but because there's a bit of conflict, that may feel like it's at a halt. It may feel like there's not a lot of growth right now, but I feel like it will even out. It says, set a strong foundation. You will see the fruits of your labor. And some of you may even be contemplating investing. I feel I'm getting risky business here. They're giving me that picture of is it Tom Cruise, risky business? And I feel like you could be investing in perhaps like a stock exchange, stock market, cryptocurrency. There's something about risky business. I'm also getting confidential. So confidentiality may be significant here. You may be keeping something to yourself, or you may work in like either high security, or you are working with some sort of confidential information here. And some of you, you are thinking about investing, and this could be a good time to invest, but maybe there's some hoops to jump. And that may be the conflict. Maybe you are working with like a loan officer or a bank or an institution. And I feel like you're really taking a look at, interest rates or where you can get the most bang for your buck, basically. But again, there's conflicts. It feels like there's a two of swords here, a crossroads. So money conflicts, maybe cutting corners. It feels like someone that you are dealing with. This is what I feel. Someone that you were dealing with was just trying to do a sloppy job to get it done, right? To get done, to clock out at the end of the day. Perhaps this was, I'm just going to throw out an example. It's like you're working with a mortgage officer and they didn't quite fill in all the gaps, meaning they shortcutted you in some way, meaning you had to go back around and do something again or fill out additional work. So by shortcutting it, it actually made the process longer. And that's what it feels like. And it may even be some sort of legal situation. Again, perhaps it feels like if you're dealing with a legal settlement, maybe it got, prolonged. Perhaps there was a bit of a freeze. Perhaps it feels very difficult to finally have a breakthrough, but it's coming in here. You have the breakthrough on this card, and that's the clarity. That's the truth. And if you were fired, or if there was a pay cut, or perhaps someone of higher standing was dishing this out, it just feels like the whole group or whole team was impacted in some way. Maybe finances were cut in a business, a service, or somewhere along the line, and it has affected you because now you may have to do many different jobs. You may have to try to spread the money in some way. It feels like there was a financial cut. All right. Now we have mechanic, mend what needs mending. It might be broken, but not all is lost. Now for some of you, whenever I get this card, this may be like a vehicle, a dishwasher. This could be an appliance in the home. It could be a computer or a phone. I am getting technology. There may be some sort of technology that it either broke or it needs mending, it needs upgrading. It says consider a career as a mechanic in automotive, aerospace, or repair technician. Oh, the aerospace makes me think that there could be something, for example, like a satellite is being reconfigured here, or AI is being reconfigured in some way. Now, this also, of course, repair technician. You could have someone coming to your home to repair. I'm getting security system, okay, security system. Perhaps this is part of what you do for work, or perhaps you have cameras installed, or it could be, on your phone. Maybe there's a virus or something of that nature. Again, don't let that fear you, but it says you can easily fix your finances, but a sacrifice may be needed. So there is something here about sacrifice. And then lastly, I love this one. This is my Aquarian card, and we are smack dab in Aquarian season, which I love Aquarian energy. I'm an Aquarian moon, but this is about abundance, easy money, divine intervention. It is light work. Oh, light workers. Okay. There's something here with the beings of the light, also about you calling in love and light to help you at this time, to guide you, to help you see things clearly. This is about air, and I just mentioned that as well. Maybe aerospace, as it says. Okay, aircraft. Perhaps we hear something globally about some sort of aircraft. Again, take it as it resonates. I am getting a lot of information lately, a lot of downloads for 2025. So there's a lot of ups and downs. I'll tell you, we're in for a wild ride, but I do feel like this may have to do with you working with travel, maybe in the travel industry. Perhaps this has to do with visas or passports. This may have to do with, travel planning. As I mentioned, did I mention that earlier? There's something about travel. Yeah, maybe an island here, or some of you could be traveling overseas, or you're wanting to get out of Dodge. Oh, okay. Some of you are wanting to get out of Dodge. You're wanting to leave a situation, maybe take off, like leave on a jet plane. Don't know where you're going, but you're going. This can be indecision, all right, undecided energy, but there's an expansion of consciousness here, and that is Aquarian energy. So, this is good. This is big. I won't say good. It feels like there's a back and forth, but I feel like you are, if you trust and listen to your intuition, which I see you are, all right, Piscean energy, you're seeing what's really going on, and you're feeling it. You're tapping into it. You're tuning into it. And I'm getting here the Queen of Pentacles in another deck. I believe it's the Light Seers. Queen of Pentacles is tapped in. It has a picture of her antenna system, and it shows like twigs on her crown chakra that are tapping into the universe. Aries, you are tapping in your antenna system, your radar, your frequency. It's like beep, beep, beep. It's going off. There's something within you that is going off here. And I feel like you're actually coming up with a solution or a plan to this. And it will put you in a Nine of Cups energy here. A Nine of Cups energy is peace. It is sovereignty, right? It is you being able to go the path that feels most aligned for you. You're not drinking the Kool-Aid here, Aries. All right, let's see what's going on in love. All right, some of you, there's the Six of Swords, the ship. You're moving on. You've cut ties. Excuse me. You've cut ties with someone here. You're moving on. You've received what you've needed here. That's for some of you. For others of you, you've just arrived. Okay, this could also be you visiting, traveling. Some of you are meeting someone at a distance. Okay, maybe there's been a long distance thing going on here. Maybe a family member or a friend. Some of you are progressing and you are arriving someplace because there is love. For those of you that are in a loving connection, or if there's someone currently that you are connected with, it feels like you come back together. And I think I said that earlier on in the reading. There could be a reuniting here. This is about giving and receiving, reciprocity. It's about fairness and love, affection being returned. And maybe someone, again, is returning in a sense. And there's unconditional love here. Whenever I think of unconditional love, I think of the cosmic heart, because we as souls, having a human experience, we put conditions around love. And when we are fully able to tap into the cosmic heart, that right there is unconditional love. We have girl with a snake. This is about being charmed. And I feel because the moon is here that some of you may have been a bit charmed by someone's energy, okay, by their looks or by their demeanor. But if that was the case, you're seeing through it now. You see that the snake is wrapped there, and her eye, it's like the eye of Horus. This is the eye of like seeing it all. You're able to see through it. Therefore, you're able to set boundaries. Boundaries are very significant for those of you that have dealt with someone who is charming you or using you or charming everyone at large in some way. Maybe this is a boss, or it could be, a family member, whomever, but you're seeing through it. You're seeing through the facade. And then lastly, for those of you that are single, all right, I feel like you're focusing on your own single life. You may be thinking, Mel, I don't need someone to complete me. I'm okay on my own. And of course, if you're looking for love, I feel like you are getting in that energy of being your own soulmate, and that is the energy that you are going to attract, someone else who is in that same vibe. But right now, I feel like you could be happily single, living in the moment, living your best life, doing things on your own. Some of you are solo traveling here. You are spending time with your friends, maybe even traveling with a group of people. There's the water, there's the beach. You may even be involved in some sort of sports or extracurricular that gets you out of the house. This is a beautiful energy. All right, lastly, we have the empty room. Let's take a look at that archetype. I'm just going to find that in the guidebook one moment. All right, we have the empty room. This is the vortex. It's the abyss, the nothing. And how interesting is this? It looks like the stars, right? The galaxy. But the interesting part of this is I was listening to a podcast the other day that talked about that movie, The Abyss. It was an old movie I remember watching as a girl. I don't even know when it came out, maybe 1980s or so. Who was it? Was it Bruce Willis? I'm not sure who was in The Abyss, but they were talking about how that movie, which I believe is made from the same creators as like Avatar. And in that movie, there was a warning system from the people underneath, like the people of far off galaxies or underneath the water in a sense, where they brought in a huge wave, and it was a warning saying, hey, get your stuff together. All right, humans on Earth, get your stuff together because here's the wave. And if you don't, we're going to have to step in. But what you do here on Earth affects all of us, affects all of the galaxies. So the fact that I'm seeing the abyss, and I just heard that within the last 24 hours, there's a message here. And again, also, it all ties together. I just mentioned that video I posted last night about light workers. We are all being called here to step into our mission, our purpose in a sense. Check out that reading if you feel called. The empty room haunts us all. It is the universal and all too frequent feeling of lack, of wanting, of the craving to fill ourselves with something, anything. We too often attempt to remedy the discomfort of the empty room by any means necessary, leading us to a culture of more. Consumption is overtaking everything. And that's what this is about. Ironically, the empty room is filled to the brim with potential. That is what we need to be looking towards. Not filling it up with things, not, consuming the wrong types of energies, right? This is filling it up with potential, yet we perceive it as not enough. This card is a cry for patience, for sitting within the barren walls of not knowing, for awaiting true vision and purpose before attaching to what we should do next to save our outward appearance. Be with the nothingness. Be with the impatience. The empty room has immense power. Let others wonder what you are doing. If you can settle into the magic of emptiness, you will soon hear its whispers of wisdom. When this is showing up as the light aspect, spaciousness, potential, possibility. When it's showing up as the dark, the shadow, addiction, instability, more for the mere sake of having more. If you want to go further, John Cage's 4'33". The archetype of the empty room is also portrayed as the hungry ghost, always feeding and never satiated. A day of silence is a surefire way to harness the power of the empty room. And that's exactly what you are doing here, 9 of Cups, because this is noisy. You know, this 5 of Swords, this conflict, too many people, too many cooks in the kitchen. I mentioned earlier about you maybe disconnecting from this energy. That's what you are being called to do. I think that's what we are all being called to do in a sense. And explore this. Explore this vast creation of potential in your personal life, in your professional life. All of it is going to come together in ways if you just explore the empty room. That is what I have for you. Aries, if this resonates, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for tuning in and bearing with me as my voice returns. Thank you again so much, Aries, and I'm sending you tons of love.